and my hair is a mess, and I'm wearing my teaching shirt. But you know what? I told you guys that I would give you the Damas Chambelanes part 2 vlog. So I'm gonna give it to you. All right. So here we go. We're gonna talk about scheduling practices. We are going to talk about what kind of things you guys need to take. So it's all this before. Yeah, I'm outside, so you can hear all that, right? So we're talking about all the before for scheduling your dance practices for your Quince or Sweet 16. Okay, guys? But just wanted to introduce myself again. I am Gaby from All right, so I am Gaby from Gaby's Choreography. I don't even know if you guys could hear that, but hopefully you can. So again, third time's a charm. Gaby from Gaby's Choreography. I have been teaching for Sweet 16s, quinceañeras, weddings, like all that good stuff for a very long time, over a decade. So wanted to make this series about different things that people tend to ask me when they're prepping for their events. I really just want to help people. So if I can help one person with these videos, it'll mean everything to me. So let me know in the comments if this video does help you. If you guys have any other questions, make sure you guys subscribe so you can get, you know, the rest of these videos. And again, if you haven't seen part 1 of this vlog, part 1 is choosing your Damas Chambelanes. So make sure that you go and see that one first, okay? All right. But, well, if you haven't chosen your Damas Chambelanes. But, so here we go, guys. Are you ready? I am ready. Couple of things for scheduling practices. So one of the first things that let me get comfortable. So one of the first things that people will tend to ask me is how far in advance do they need, and I'm talking louder because there's a plane. So how far in advance do they need to schedule their practices? So I would say honestly anywhere from 2 to 3 months in advance is when you would want to schedule your practices. Technically you'd practice once a week, but the closer you are to the quinceañera, the more times a week you'll have to practice. So that's the first thing that you want to consider is how far in advance you're going to start the practices and how many times a week you'll be practicing. And that's probably one of the first things that you'll want to let your Damas Chambelanes know, right? We're going to be practicing from this month to this month, this many times a week for this many hours, right? And it really depends on how many dances you're doing. It depends on how many people are in your court. Definitely, I would say if you are doing an entrance, father-daughter dance, waltz, and surprise dance, you want to practice, let's say we're doing 2 hours a week, once a week, you want minimum 8 sessions. I mean, that is like the minimum is 8 sessions if you're doing like everything. So that's about 2 months in advance. And then you want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. So however many dances, however much time you need to practice, add like 2-3 weeks to that for your start date. Okay. So that's first, is knowing when you're going to be practicing and how many times and the hours and all that stuff. And then once you know all of that, you want to ask your court when they are available. So couple of things to let them know before you ask for the availability is to make sure they find out about family events, vacations, and any sports schedules. You know, so if they have tryouts for something, if they have practice for something, anything of that sort, anything that they may be busy with, tell them to please make note of that before, you know, they give you the schedule, before you give them the schedule. So once they know all of that stuff, so one of the things that I like to do for my girls is, and so I actually had recorded this already and lost the video. So this is a little wrinkled already from that first take, but whatever. So here we go. So I put this together for my girls. This is my availability, right? So as you can see, Monday through Friday, usually in the afternoons, and then Saturdays in the morning is when I'm available. So I'll give my girls my availability. And so this one's a blank one, but usually I'll block out when I'm busy. So if someone was trying to schedule the practices right now, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday would all already be blocked out for practices. They wouldn't be able to practice those days. So they'd have to find availability on like Thursday, Fridays, pretty much. So yeah, choreographer first blocks out their schedule, and then you as the quinceañera would then block out whatever times you can't practice. So definitely it's the quinceañera first. Why? Because if you yourself can't practice on a certain day, you don't want to offer that as an option to your Damas Chambelanes. So block off your days. So say I'm the quinceañera and I can't practice on Thursdays from 6 to 7. I'm going to block that time out, right? Then you call each Damas Chambelan with those considerations that I gave you guys earlier, and then ask them when they're unable to practice, right? And if one person tells you they can't practice, just block it out and don't offer it to the next person, right? So you'll just be going down the line with every Damas Chambelan, and eventually you're going to find white spaces on this, right? And honestly, it doesn't have to just be this. It's just the way that I do it, but you guys can get a calendar from Google. Let's not do that. You guys can get a Google calendar. You guys can get one of those calendars that has just all the hours on it. So make sure it has all the hours on it, the days of the week, and that you're able to block these times out, right? Yo, guys, it is so awkward doing this outside because people just stare at you while you're doing it, but whatever, we're gonna keep going. All right, so yeah, you can get it from Google. You can get it really from anywhere. You can get a template. It doesn't have to be this, or you know what, here, I'm gonna do this. Boom, or you can screenshot that. All right, so you don't have to do it in paper. You can screenshot it. You can send it to all your Damas Chambelanes, and honestly, everyone has a phone, so what they can do is block out the times, okay, on their phone. You know how there's that little tool on there, like whether it's an Android or an iPhone, I think, that you can like write on the screen, so they can just do it on there and then send that to you, and then you can have your own little master list and just from what everyone sends you, block out the times that they can't do, and again, you'll see little white spots on your own master list, right? Now those white spots are the days and times that they can practice. So that's what you're gonna go with, right? So when everyone's available, that's what you wanna do. And then when you have found that, that's why you wanna do this as soon as possible, because once you find a time that everyone can do, you want them to block that time out for you. So say, all right guys, I found a space for everyone. Everyone can practice Saturdays from 8 to 10, right? For example. So everybody, we're gonna start in 2 weeks. I'm just giving you guys examples, but we're gonna start in 2 weeks and we're gonna practice Saturdays from this time to this time. All right, another thing you wanna have into consideration. So say you already have, okay, we're gonna do Saturdays. All right, I had to stop the video because I had to go get my little scheduler book. All right, so now another thing you want to take into consideration is holidays, right? So once you guys have made your schedule and you know what days you're going to practice, so I have my little book here that I have my practices in, but write down when you guys are practicing each week, and then if it falls on a holiday, take note of that, because you don't want to schedule the practice on a holiday. I'm going to tell you right now, most people will probably cancel if it's a holiday. So just, add another week to that, or start a week in advance, just to make up for that practice, or, if there's another date that they can make up for it that week, just go ahead and do that. But definitely you want to take into consideration all of that. Oh, I wish I had it. I should have gotten it when I went to go get the book. So another thing that I like to do is print out for all of the people that are in the quince. Once we figured out the day, the time, once we have in every, through the month, what holidays are not going to be practicing, all that stuff, I'll print out for every single person a schedule showing what days they are practicing, what days they're not practicing, and that way there's no excuses as to why they can or can't go to the practice, right? You know what? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna be right back because I actually have it with me. All right, guys, so I do have it. I'm back. My God, guys, why is my hair such a mess? All right, it's okay. I'm all, from practicing, whatever. So this is it. I had to fold it because there's personal info on the top, but what it has on it is who they're practicing with. So it's got my information at the top, the address, how to get there, all that information, right? And then it'll say they're practicing every when, through what date. And actually this was an older one, so I have to update this one. But so if it's twice a week, it'll say Monday, and which is happening for this person, so Monday and Wednesday, and when they're practicing and what days they're not practicing. So for example, right here, September 2nd, it says no practice Labor Day, right? So that's good to put on the schedule that you give them, that way they know. And, you know, like, so my daughter, she likes having her calendar and she likes having all her practices, and they just add this on there, or they'll put it on the fridge for their moms and dads. So it's really good to do this for them. That way there's no excuses, or they can't say that they forgot that there was practice. Everybody's got the sheet and they know when they're practicing, okay? Obviously, you might not be able to give them to this prior to the first practice unless you see them in school, but you don't always, right? Not everyone will be at your school, so, or it's during the summer. So you can screenshot it for the first session, right? But yeah, I like doing that. Another thing that you'll want this schedule for is for the hall rehearsal. So as soon as you see when everyone's available, if you can, I like to do the hall rehearsal the week of the quince. Why? Because it's fresh in everyone's mind, right? When you're scheduling it the week of the quince, the hall may not have the availability that your Damas Chambelanes had every week. So say you were practicing Mondays from, or what did we say? No, it's not going to be on a Saturday. But say you were practicing on Mondays from 7 to 9. The hall may not have that available, right? So you'll need to find another space in there that they may be able to practice. So schedule your hall rehearsal as soon as possible. So I think that's pretty much it when it comes to scheduling the practices. I would say as far as cancellations go, tell everyone to let you know at least 24 hours ahead, or whatever amount of time you need to know ahead of time, because honestly, it's being considerate. You know, if they let you know at least a day ahead, you know, other people can make plans. So, or if your choreographer needs to, you know, can book somebody else for that day for a private lesson, then they can do that, right? So that's just me. But now, what to bring to the practice. This is actually pretty short, you know, what things they need to bring to the practices. So the things that I usually say they need to bring, and I actually put it on this sheet as well for them so that they don't forget, and we're just going to go through the list, is to bring water, no open-toed shoes. This is super important because a lot of them may not quite know how to dance yet. So especially when you're doing the waltz, if somebody, like say a girl's wearing chanclas, sandals, and the boy accidentally steps on the girl's toe, you can actually break someone's toe doing that. So I don't allow open-toed shoes at my practices for that reason. And I do recommend that, you know, even if you're teaching this on your own, just tell everyone to wear closed-toed shoes. And honestly, I don't know how people can dance in chanclas anyway. It's really difficult to do. And they'll just be saying like, oh, I can't do this step in chanclas. So just tell them not to wear them. Comfortable clothing. Definitely wear comfortable clothing. So I know, like, look what I'm wearing right now. Like, I'm just wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing like baggy joggers. So guys, it's about being comfortable and feeling awkward in the practices. So just tell your people to go ahead and wear anything that they feel comfortable in. I notice sometimes girls will wear like shorts, like small jean shorts, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that like then they're too shy to move certain ways because they're wearing the shorts. Now, unless that's what they're wearing for the surprise dance, then okay, because then your choreographer can see how they can and can't move in that, then that would be fine. So if that's what you're planning on having them wear, cool. But if it's not, or you're still not sure, tell them to just wear things that they're comfortable moving around in. That way they're not shy to do all the movements that you need them to do, right? And then another thing that I recommend often is knee pads. If your guys have knee pads, this is mostly for the guys, not so much the girls. They don't really, like, I never really have girls go down on their knee or anything like that. But for boys, especially if you guys are practicing outdoors, if you guys are practicing at a park, if you guys, wherever you guys are practicing, oftentimes it's in a garage, it's at a house, you know, knee pads are a good idea because when you watch a video on YouTube, when you go to a quinceañera, it's like 4 minutes and then it's done. But during practices, no, you might be on your knee for a certain amount of time and it can hurt after a while. So I definitely recommend the knee pads as well. And then for that first practice, if there's any paperwork that you need them to give you, so I tend to give waivers. So if there's waivers, if there's, you know, anything, any type of paperwork that you need them to turn in, make sure that they give that to you. I would say even prior to the first lesson. And, you know, I really think that that's it. Let's see. Paperwork, closed shoes, water. Yeah, that's pretty much all that they need, and themselves, and a good attitude, and for them to just be ready to go. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. If there's anything else that you guys think people need to take to the practices, if there's a way that you guys have found is easier to schedule practices, go ahead and write it. Like, let girls who are watching this video know what's worked for you. I want this to be like a helpful little community here. So, and I'm the type of choreographer that I don't feel like there's only one right way to do something. This is just me giving you guys advice on how I like to do these things, and hopefully help you guys with it. But if there's something that works for you guys, by all means, freaking share it, because it can help somebody. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys are enjoying this series. I have a lot more things for you guys in store. So I would love to tell you guys, like, yes, I'm gonna do one every single week, but things get busy. I'm a mom of 4, I'm a wife, I do this full time. Like right now, my kids are starting school, so it is hectic. It is so hectic. But yeah, things get busy, so I can't do them every single week, but I promise you guys I'm gonna try my best to, but I will be posting these often. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure that you guys, if you know anyone that is planning a Quince Sweet 16, let them know about this. You know, hopefully it can help them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in the next vlog, and yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Guys, so I noticed in my other video that, and it's happening in this one too, it's the lighting. So my eyebrows look like they're 2 different colors, but they're actually not. It's just the lighting. So sorry if that was distracting. I don't know what to tell you. You know what, can I tell you guys something? Like, is it okay if I just never comb my hair in these? Like, do you guys mind? Because I am not all about like combing my hair, to be honest with you. Especially like when you live somewhere humid like I do. You know, you straighten it and then it's just don't. Or if you guys have any advice for how to not make it go, it'd be awesome. Because I just can't. And then before I had dyed my hair blonde, and so like from here down, it's all dried out, and it doesn't, like, my hair is usually pretty wavy, but it doesn't wave as much because it's so freaking, it's dry, y'all. It's freaking dry.